How's it going, everybody? Welcome to a brand new video. Today, we're going to be taking a look and counting down the days until Pokemon Legends ZA comes out. So, we're going to be taking a look at a bunch of different things that have been posted. Everything from theories, news, rumors, leaks, anything in between. Starting things off, guys, we have this post by Kingly, and he's not the only person. We also have a post here from somebody called Sifu Pokepress, which basically put together a list of every single returning Pokemon that's going to be in this game, at least so far, right? What's been confirmed from the trailer. So this is a list here by Kingly, and this is a list by them. So we're gonna go through both lists and see if there is any like lack or overlap or anything like that. But let's see. So he says, at first glance, you may have missed some of the Pokemon shown in the trailer, especially when we don't have full details. Here's a list of the ones that are shown with their evolutions, and there are 2 or 3 that couldn't be deciphered at the 0.225 speed of YouTube videos. But the actual Pokedex so far is the following: we have Pikachu, Raichu, so the entire Pikachu line, most likely. I guess it's because Pikachu's confirmed, so the other 2 are by proxy confirmed. Next up is Ekans and Arbok, which, of course, are pretty neat. I think we see them on a bridge at some point. Bellsprout, there are multiple Bellsprout that run around, so Victory Bell and Weepin Bell should also be confirmed by proxy. But there's also Onix, which we see. We see Staryu and Starmie. Pinsir is actually fighting a Heracross in the trailer, so that's another one that is confirmed. Moving on, we also have Magikarp, which of course is confirmed due to Gyarados. Eevee, because we do see Sylveon, so Eevee has to be there, including all the evolutions, so Vaporeon, Flareon, Jolteon, Espeon, Umbreon, Glaceon, Leafeon, and of course, Sylveon, right? Moving on, we do see a Dragoneer, so that pretty much confirms Dragonite and Dratini are going to be in the game. Unknown. Now, Unknown is a bit weird, but most likely all the unknown letters could be in the game because they were actually present in the original Legends Arceus, but that's not the only game they were present in. They were also present in the trailer itself at the beginning of it, where they have them like spelling out some word, which was an anagram for see you, which most likely is what we're referring to when it comes to unknown. So they most likely will be in the game as well. We don't have a confirmation though. Steelix is also probably confirmed due to the existence of Onix. There's no confirmation, but maybe. We also had Heracross shown off battling against Pinsir. We also saw Absol running in the bottom right corner. Hippopotas and Hippowdon, those were also seen. I think Hippopotas was actually seen in the bottom of underneath a bridge. Sandal, of course, is confirmed due to Crocodile actually being seen in one of the battles. Emolga is seen flying on the screen. And finally, we have Fletchling, Fletchinder, and Talonflame, which are seen throughout the video, flying around in the sky, and so on and so forth. Litleo and Pyroar have also been confirmed. I mean, they are, again, Gen 6 Pokemon, so it makes sense. Flabebe only makes sense due to the fact that we also need to see Floette, which is very important for this game. Of course, AZ's Floette and all that. Florges as well. Skiddo and Gogoat, again, Gen 6 Pokemon that are staples. Same thing goes for Pancham and Pangoro. Very important Pokemon for those games. Moving on, we also saw Furfrou several times, so we're going to see a lot of those with all the different haircuts. Esper is going to be in the game. Meowstic's going to be in the game. Honedge, Doublade, and Aegislash. Of course, Aegislash is confirmed. We see him battling one of the Pokemon as well. Klefki, we see the background next to the cafe. And then we also have Halucha. Now, if we look at the other list here, that was by the other person, I don't think we really missed anything. I think everything that was on that list is also on this one. Apparently, they also think they saw like Barboach or whatever, down in the water. I'm not sure if I saw that myself. I can't confirm or deny it, to be honest with you. I have no idea, but it could be. It could be true. Again, no confirmation. Moving on, though, that was some of the stuff. Now, we're going to be taking a look at something a little bit different. So, this is a post by Central Leaks, where basically, it is confirmed, by the way. And I think even the official Nintendo account even tweeted it as well. But basically, the official Japanese account confirms that Lumiose we see on the trailer is different than the previous version in X and Y. Now, we don't know if the game is set in the present or in the future, but we know the city that we've seen in the trailer is not at the same point of time as in X and Y. So, yes, this whole place we're going to be going to, it's going to be Lumiose only, right? And we also know that it's only going to be Lumiose, and this is something that was confirmed by Nintendo as well. So we go to Nintendo right here. Check out their tweets. I think Nintendo of Europe might have tweeted as well. Urban redevelopment, ambitious new adventure awaits in Legends ZA, coming to Nintendo Switch. Here it is, I think. So, actually, no, that's still not the right one. It's kind of hard to find. I think Nintendo of America may have tweeted it. Let's see. Nintendo of America. See if they actually have the official tweet about it, because they did tweet about it saying, here we go. So watch and see the reveal trailer for Pokemon Legends ZA, a new adventure set entirely entirely within Lumiose City. Now, a lot of people are worried about this, but if you go back to the post that he made right here, and again, take a look at this. So he's talking about which time frame is this going to be set in, and I'm going to make several videos. We have over a year of time to talk about this. We got about 365 videos worth of content to make, guys, so we're going to talk about this several times probably throughout the year, but right now, at least where I stand on this is, the name of the game is Pokemon Legends ZA. ZA is just AZ backwards, and AZ, of course, is a character from the past. However, they twisted that. Now it's ZA, right? Now we have a game that's literally the alphabet backwards. So I feel like this game is either going to be set in the future to fit with the theme, and this is something that was mentioned by several different people, but it's the fact that, like, if you look at the Gen 9 Pokemon games that we've had, right, because we only have a few Gen 9 Pokemon games, if you really think about it, from, like, you know, recent time, and that's only really 2, right? So we had, of course, Scarlet and Violet, and then this game. But Scarlet and Violet, before it released, there was also another game, which was Legends Arceus, which was set in the past. Then Paldea was set in the present, and this game could be set in the future. However, Hisui and Legends Arceus, that game was a Generation 8 game, so I highly doubt it's connected. But this game could be set in the future, or both in the future and the past. We could be basically traveling between 2 time frames. Remember, we do have time travel in Pokemon, so it is highly possible. And since it's only one city, it's much easier for them to send us back and forth. There's also the possibility of an underground world, because remember, this is based on literal Paris, which has the catacombs underneath it, which is large tunnels that spread for hundreds of miles, right? And if they base it off of that, there's a lot of space to work with. You can do a whole Pokemon Underground. Of course, the real catacombs are more terrifying, and don't Google it. You're just going to get creepy nightmares thinking about, like, crawl spaces and getting lost. But either way, what I'm trying to say is that it's highly possible this game could be set in the future, and if it's set in the future, they could change things up and do things a bit differently. However, we're going to have a lot of discussions about this throughout the year. For now, we're going to leave it on the fact that they literally themselves say the following: the stage of adventure is going to be, well, Pokemon Legends ZA. That question mark seems to be different from the previous city. I can't stop being excited about this new adventure. So they're literally saying this is a different version of Lumiose City. This is not the Lumiose you remember. It's not the Lumiose from X and Y. It will have similarities, of course, and we're going to actually be playing. I'm going to be live streaming, and it's something I was going to mention later, but I'll be live streaming the entire Pokemon X and Y on this channel, going through every little nook and cranny, every little detail to break down as much as we can. But again, interesting points, interesting details. I'd love to know what you guys think about it. Let me know in the comment section down below. Next up, though, there is a bit of a kind of a cool post here made by Cobalt, who basically said, I think that the Pokemon hashtag Pokemon ZA logo strongly resembles the alchemic symbol of Blanc de... Oh, my lord, I can't say that because it's French. Blanc de Esponge? I don't know. I can't really speak French, so it doesn't really matter. However, this symbol is associated to the albedo phase, the purification of matter. It's said that it represents rebirth, and that it's the purpose in the creation of an elixir of long life. Sound familiar? Well, if you look at it right here, that's the logo, right? Same logo, same thing going on, right? ZA. Literally the alchemic symbol. It literally looks the same. It's not even a question about it. I mean, seriously. And you gotta remember, Pokemon love doing these kind of things. They love actually making real connections. And Alchemy, Albedo, or Lusosis is the second of the 4 major stages of Magnum Opus, along with, well, I'm not going to read some of these, is basically the meaning, well, yeah. Again, not going to read those, but more or less what we're trying to get to here is that they will be having a lot of connections like these, right? And he's talking about rebirth and all of that. And when you think about rebirth in this game, there's a lot of things you can go to in Gen 6 that have to do with rebirth. So, again, I'd love to know your guys' theories. You guys can join our Discord and actually share your theories with me or whatever. If you don't want to, you don't have to. It's fine. But there is a Discord you guys can join to share it. Or you can go to Twitter right here at RuffledRowlit and hit me up with your theories. You can DM me. I think my DMs should be open. And you can also just tweet at me. It's all available, and you guys can send me your messages and your thoughts and theories and everything. There's something else, though, that's really massive, which is this right here. So, we actually have confirmation for what this is. So, Quasar. This is a Quasar. Team Quasar, whatever they're going to be called. This might be the logo of the Evil Foundation. Like, think about the Ether Foundation or Team Flare, whatever. This is basically going to be the logo of the new, like, people that are ruling Lumiose City or whatever, right? Or that are building it. This is the group that are doing it. It's Quasar. Are they going to be called Foundation, Quasar Foundation? Are they going to be Team Quasar? I don't really know, but they are going to be the people that are going to be doing some wacky stuff. Or maybe we're going to be part of them, similar to how we were part of the group in Legends Arceus. So is that the same thing right here? Are we part of the people that are going to be building up this new Lumiose City, or are we going to be there once it's already been built, and now we have to deal with some people trying to do some wacky stuff? Again, a lot of possibilities, a lot of theories, a lot of things we can talk about. But again, it's possible that the organization will be called Quasar, again, because that's basically based on the logo. Now, interestingly, somebody did actually send me a bit of a, I think, actually, I don't know if somebody sent it to me, but I did get a post that I saw, which is very intriguing, specifically talking about this. I'm going to have to go through my liked tweets, because I try to make sure I leave likes and everything that I, that I see, so I can then like come back to it a little bit later, because there is a lot of stuff to actually cover. Here it is. So this was by Light, and basically this logo looks like a quasars, which are a subclass of active galactic nuclei. Extremely luminous galactic cores where gas and dust falling into a supermassive black hole emit electromagnetic radiation across the entire electromagnetic spectrum. So that is probably what we are looking at. Team Quasar, Foundation of Quasar, they're going to be an organization that we're going to be dealing with in this game, no doubt about it. Moving on, we also have something really interesting, which is the codename for Pokemon, Pokemon Legends ZA, which is, intriguingly enough, Ikaku. And apparently, I'm not sure exactly what it translates to, but I think in terms of its actual, the actual meaning of it, I can't really remember what it meant, but it was something along the lines of, I guess he wasn't too off, but here, so Legends ZA codename confirmed as Ikaku. And here's the thing. That was correct. And interestingly, Ikaku could mean a lot of different things in this case, but probably intimidate is the one that it actually connects to the best, right? But that's the code name of the game. So now you might be wondering, okay, but what does that matter? Well, sometimes the code names are a hint to what they're basing it off of, or sometimes it could be confirming some information. In this case, for example, a lot of people have been very, very angry with Riddler-Ku. Okay, so you guys, if you do not know Riddler-Ku, I'm going to explain who he is really quickly. He is a Pokemon leaker who has been correct multitude of times in the past. Only issue is that his information is very all over the place, to say the least. And that's the thing that I have an issue with this post as well, is that they're too complicated, and sometimes it just feels like he doesn't even know what he's talking about. But he has been correct about genuine stuff in the past. Like, he has actually had genuine information several times. And I still think it's worthwhile to, read what he says and what he posts, because there's always possibility of a value there to be. You know what I mean? There's always something that can be found there. However, here's what we have. So this is from Soul Silvers, who said, confirmed Ku's riddle was the code name of Legend ZA. Ikaku means intimidate. Those attacking him and his credibility are just being a bit dull. This is literally a riddle leak of this game, and he never flat out said that black and white games were coming. True. They did leave some weird hints, though. But remember, guys, there is always a chance. And please, so people are going to hate this guy, and people are going to hate Riddler-Ku and all that. And you have the right to do that. I don't really care. But I want to say this real quick. Please remember that plans change, and details from the background can change. Also, these leakers may also be fed incorrect information from whoever they're getting it from. And that person may have gotten incorrect information because Nintendo or Pokemon Company or Game Freak are trying to suss out who's giving out all their info. Because Pokemon games leak all the time, okay? Pokemon details leak every single time. I think it's interesting how people try to pretend that we didn't get, DLC details leaked. Legends Arceus leaked literally the day of the game's actually being shown off. We got, some Chinese screenshots of the actual game. So it's always a chance that these things can be real. Just keep that in mind. But again, what he's saying here, though, is that Even then, there's still a high possibility of one coming, because not only he, but others have hinted at it, and Pokemon Day Presents isn't the only Pokemon news we'll get for 2024, which is true. There's always a chance we'll get a Pokemon Presents in August. We could also get one in May, April. I think possibly there might be one in May, another Pokemon Presents. There's a high chance for that, because again, it's going to be a long year. If they don't have a new Pokemon game for this year, that's totally fine. But usually, and this is something I want to point out, guys, usually, to cover the time when they don't have a new Pokemon game coming out, they tend to release spin-off games. The only spin-off, or the only non-mainline Pokemon game we've seen, is Pokemon Pocket, or Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket, which is the whole, mobile Pokemon game that we're getting, where you can play with the cards and open Pokemon packs, which is literally just a gacha game, but doesn't really matter. That's actually confirmed. We know that that's coming out, but I wonder if that's the only thing for this year, because that seems a little bit weird, and that one is also confirmed for this year. But remember, guys, it's confirmed for this year, but they haven't told us a release date. So I'm pretty sure whenever we do get new information, most likely August. So it's going to be a long 6 months until then, okay? Like, we have still to deal with March, April, May, June, July, August. 6 months exactly. So we have a long 6 months to wait before we actually know what the release date's going to be for that, what other information. But there is also a chance we might see it earlier, might see it in May, because remember, and I'm going to show you an interesting post here, which was posted by one of our friends of the channel. But you can just scroll down here, and we're going to find the actual post. This is from Jordan. So, Jordan says, I see a lot of people now saying that our leakers lied about Pokemon Black and White remakes. Seems like everyone forgot that mid-generation games getting announced on Pokemon Day is an anomaly. The only time it's happened, it was tied to a Legends game. ZA is in Unova. So give it a few months. And what he's talking about here is that if you look at the announcements for previous Pokemon games, if you look at this, it actually is pretty crazy. But Pokemon Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire were announced in May. They were never announced on Pokemon Day. Like Pokemon X and Y, for example, which were announced during like January or something, like very early into the year when they were coming out. But Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, which were a remake, were announced in May. And guess what else? Another game announced in May was Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. I remember because I was there when it happened. That's not the only one. Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Those were announced in June 6, 2017. Then there's also the fact that we only had really Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl and Legends Arceus, which were combined for Pokemon Day in February 27, 2021. So again, there's always a possibility. Keep that in mind. And he also even says here, down here, another thing to keep in mind is Pokemon as a whole almost never takes a break. This is a cherry picking, but there's a list of major Pokemon releases per year. Is Pokepark a major release? I don't know. We don't know. When we don't get a main series game, we at least get a new spin-off. And then he wonders, do we really think this is going to be a year of just Pokemon TCG? It could be the case. Because if we look at it, right, the only years where there isn't, like, anything coming out, if we really, like, start looking at, like, further down here, was, like, what, 1997 and 2001. Then for the most part here, you actually every year have a little bit of everything, right? 2002, it was Pokemon Ruby Sapphire. 2003, Pokemon Colosseum. 2004, Fire Leaf Green and Emerald, by the way, 2 games in 1 year, just like recently. 2005, you had 2 spin-offs, XD Guild of Darkness and Mystery Dungeon Red Rescue Team and Blue Rescue Team. 2006, Pokemon Ranger and Diamond and Pearl. 2007, Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Time and Darkness. 2008, Rangers, Shadow of Almia, and Platinum. 2009, you had basically 3 games. Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky, one of the best, or if not the best, Mystery Dungeon game. Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Pokepark Wii, Pikachu's Adventure. Then in 2010, Pokemon Ranger Guardians Science and also Black and White. As well as then in 2011, Pokepark 2, Wonders Beyond. So that's the last time we had a very iffy year. And then 2012, Pokemon Conquest, Black and White 2, Mystery Dungeon Gates to Infinity. Moving on, Pokemon X and Y in 2013, 2014, Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, 2015, Pokken Tournament and Super Mystery Dungeon, 2016, Sun and Moon, then Ultra Sun and Moon, followed by 2018 with Detective Pikachu and Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. So again, 2 games that year, Sword and Shield DLC, followed by New Pokemon Snap, Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, because those came out in 2021 at the same time. 2022, Legends Arceus, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. 2023, Scarlet and Violet DLC, and Detective Pikachu Returns, because both of those came out last year, by the way. Here's the thing. I doubt that they will go this whole year without releasing something else. This is coming out definitely this year. We know that Pokemon Pocket, trading card game Pocket, is coming out this year. That's confirmed. That's a 100% confirmed thing. That is happening. However, there's got to be more that's going to be happening this year. Small stuff. Not expecting massive things here, but there is a chance some stuff could happen still. But we won't know. We won't know for half a year, guys. We have possibly half a year. Upwards of half a year. 6 months. Possibly. I would say at most 6 months. At minimum, in the next 4 months or so, we might see some information. Because remember, if you look at actual Pokemon Presents, like all Pokemon Presents, if we look at the full list, let's see. If you look at the full list of all the Pokemon Presents that have ever happened, they have been very slow with it in recent time, right? So back in 2020, they had multiple of them, right? They had one in, of course, Pokemon Day, which isn't shown here, because for some reason they don't list this going far back enough, which is really weird. Let's see, Pokemon Presents. Maybe we click the actual anchor here. No, it doesn't. But yeah, so you had one in, for example, in 2020, you had 3 of them, right? You had one that was on Pokemon Day in February. Then you had 2 of them in June, one for the 17th and one for the 24th. Why? Because on the 17th, they announced the DLC. On the 24th, they announced Pokemon Unite, which was the whole MOBA Pokemon game. Moving on, in 2021, you had one in February, then in August. Then in 2022, you had one in February, then in August. Then in 2022, that's when you had it. And then 2023, you had one in February, and then again, one in August. So now we've had the same thing this year. One in February, most likely one in August. And that one in August has to announce a few things. One, it has to announce the release date of Legends ZA. 100% is going to announce the release date then. And two, we also have to get a announcement for the Pokemon TCG game. So that would imply that that game's coming out at the end of the year sometime, which still makes it crazy to me to think that that would be their biggest project. I just highly doubt that that would be the only thing, but there's always a chance. It could be the only thing we get this year, guys. So I'd love to know what you guys think about it. But again, continuing through the rest of this post where he says, even though there's still a high possibility of this coming this year, would you rather have gotten Hype Legends new today or just a faithful remake game announcement? Let's keep calm and buckle up. More in this later. And again, there are people that are angry, you know, saying like, explain the 8 then. And the 8 was a whole like, you know, post that was made by Ridley, which didn't really make much sense now. It just doesn't communicate really well. And again, a lot of people are very confused. I think the best one was the picture that Ku posted. There's like this one post he had, which just didn't make much sense to me. It was a bit confusing. But here you can say, bingo. Though it's hilarious if they really named this game Intimidate, because it's so ironic since fans have been so intimidated by the idea of a chibi Pokemon Black and White remake. But yeah, so again, the code name is confirmed. Remember, we showed you the post from Centro, which confirms the actual code name. And again, if you look at what Ku said here, he posted these Pokemon. The first one was Sango, which is Japanese for Coral, which was Oras's code name. BDSP's code name was Delphis. And then interestingly, here, he thought that it was going to be Intimidate for Unova. However, it turns out that it's actually for Pokemon Z, which is very strange. Interesting to use Gen 5 Pokemon. But again, could be a stretch, could not be a stretch. I don't really know, frankly, at this point. Who knows? But I just want to hear what you guys think about this, because I am personally lost on this whole thing. And leaving things off at the final thing here, guys, massive information. Nintendo is going against emulators. They're going to be actually suing the creators of the Switch emulator, Yuzu. So yes, Yuzu might be going down the drain. Just a heads up in case you guys are using Yuzu, because it's getting sued. It's getting sued. Nintendo going after them. They're trying to seek for liability on it, like you know, damages and all that sort of stuff. So yes, if you are a Yuzu user, you may be in trouble, which means it's about time to switch over to Ryujinx, baby. But either way, basically, Yuzu in trouble. Keep that in mind. It might be very detrimental to the emulation community, because this lawsuit is going to be huge. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for today's Pokemon Countdown. Like I said, guys, we're going to be doing daily videos. Some days, these videos might be 20 minutes. Some days, they might be 3 minutes. Doesn't really matter. Every day, we're going to be trying to put out a little video counting down all the way until Pokemon Legends ZA. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, and bye-bye.